You're listening to Front Row Center. I'm Celeste Headlee. Like most large cities, Detroit has a problem with graffiti. The city spends thousands every year removing spray painted symbols, names, and sometimes expletives from public buildings. But one man in Detroit is doing part of the city's job on his own time.
Detroit's a strange place. Like, I wonder if this is what Rome was like, like a few years after the empire fell.
Kevin Joy is a graffiti artist. In the late 1990s, he spent more than 3 years decorating the windows in the 230-foot tall United Artists building. The artwork was removed in 2005 as part of the pre-Super Bowl cleanup effort in Detroit, and the removal of the art caused a furor of debate in the area over what constitutes art. Can illegal graffiti ever be legitimate art, or is it simply vandalism?
So basically, we just try to do everything here that we figured they would have done if they didn't have to worry about a security deposit. Although other people come in here and vandalize the place, they knock over the appliances, and I don't know why they do the things they do. I don't know what you guys got against kitchen appliances up on the wall.
Joy spends his time now removing so-called bad graffiti from abandoned buildings and replacing it with his own work.
There's a hole through the fence on this side. We got to climb up through a window. Sometimes there's rather sketchy characters who hang out on the steps of this church, and that's like the one spot I'm a little concerned about.
One of his ongoing projects is an abandoned building on West Alexandrine.
There's a bunch of the broken glass from the building where the scrappers are breaking windows and stealing the frames and just other debris. I call it the Canyon of Destruction. That's my little pet name for it.
I spoke to Kevin Joy about his artwork and breaking the law.
No, Jackie, I'm shooting a video.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 2001, 2002, for earnest, for getting kind of serious about it.
Now, when you say getting kind of serious, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I would like to disavow some of the early stuff. It just seems like practice, and just like starting to do the Mayan project and the United Artists, anything like precursor to that just seems like practice or just fucking around.
You can't say that.
Obviously, that was cut out of the broadcast.
So you would consider this to be your serious artwork?
Yeah.
But you were saying that you got a ticket for doing your artwork.
I did just yesterday. Malicious mischief.
And how does that feel when you're doing something that you consider to be like serious work, but it's illegal?
I'm kind of resigned to it. I want to fight it. Mischief. All right, you guys probably got me there, but malicious. That's what I contest because there was no malice in my heart or my mind when I did what I did. I would contend that what I do is purely benevolent mischief.
Now, tell me what exactly. How do you choose your spot, first of all?
I don't want to hit up anything that's up and running, not unless it's thoroughly graphed and they've shown no interest in getting rid of it.
Cleaning it.
Yeah, cleaning it. I tend to like larger, wider buildings, like the small, narrow towers. I don't think are as conducive to window art. I look at the colors. I look at the brick. Just whatever artwork interests I've been, whatever I've been into lately. I try to theme out the spot. They don't always have a theme, but I try to make something to suit the building, something to complement it rather than detract from it.
And why? Why do you feel that the artwork that you're putting on the windows of, I assume, mostly vacant buildings?
Oh yeah, always vacant buildings.
Yeah. Why put the artwork there?
Because I can. Because I love to do it. Because I'm both.
Is it because, I mean, for example, if you painted an oil painting and it was picked up by a gallery, maybe a few hundred people would see it. Is the attraction to it that a few thousand people are going to see it on the building?
I like that people see it. I like that they can see it for free as well. You know, it makes me sad that the buildings are sitting vacant and unused, and I think it gives people something more interesting to look at than yet another white elephant littering the skyscraper graveyard in Detroit.
You're a lifelong Detroiter?
I grew up in the suburbs, but I've been living in the city for nearly 10 years, and it doesn't look like I'm going anywhere. I've kind of dug in my heels and found my niche here, and yeah, I'm a Detroiter.
And I mean, what is it about the city that inspires? Because you're one among many people who seem to have this kind of stubborn passion for the city. What is it about the city that inspires people to be? I mean, there are lots of people who love New York. There's plenty of people who love LA. But what is it about Detroit that kind of inspires this sort of, I don't know, almost obsessive, stubborn love of the metropolis?
I just love the ruins as a feeling of peace, and they always pose more questions, and they have answers. I love picking through them, and it's where I grew up, and it's my home.
Why now? I understand that one of the things you've been doing now is finding places, like you said, where there's already graffiti there and cleaning it up.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'm just tired of seeing the same boring, uninspired graffiti, someone's name ad nauseum done the same way. You know, I like fighting reruns with original programming, and I'm going forward to the community and asking people what they're sick of. There's really actually a board in the Lafayette. It's like, what graffiti are you sick of, and what would look better there. And I feel good because I'm not really adding to the amount of graffiti in the city, but I'm kind of toning it down really, because I prefer to paint pictures rather than some simple throw up that just like, this is my ego, some crap like that.
So give me an example of what you might do. If you went and you found some place that had a name, do you paint over it, or what do you do?
Oh, I love to paint over it. I like there was a crappily done name with eggs with 2 apostrophes on the side of an up and running party store that was there for over 3 years. Right down Cass. I bike by it every day, see it all the time. Finally got so sick of looking at one night I went and just painted over with a crayon and a sheet of loose leaf paper, which was my message to the writer that perhaps that should be his medium, because that seemed to reflect to me that the skill which was the piece was done.
So you actually painted a crayon and paper?
I crayon and paper, yes.
And what did you find out what the owners had thought about it?
Some guy who was on the corner, I assume he was selling drugs. I might be wrong. It might be a presumption of mine that was wrong. But he's like, the owner's gonna be mad as hell. I was like, there's already been graffiti. I'm a local resident. I'm sick of seeing this, and it's the crayon and loose leaf is still up, much as the other tag was up for 3 years. And then someone yelled from across the street, "Hey!" They were mad at what I was doing. I went, I'm going over graffiti, and then it was totally silent. And then a couple punk kids rode by on their bikes, and they were happy. They were happy to see it go. They were cheering. And then the thug guy kind of chased me away, and I had to come back and finish my loose leaf with the lines later, because the lines to me were what was really important. What really made it funny was the blue line across it.
Oh, the paper?
Yeah, that was essential to me for some reason.
Now, what are some of the paintings that you've done that you think are really standouts?
I'm fairly proud of the Ghost Rider. I didn't do the skull. My friend did the outline of the skull.
And where's that?
It's on the Lafayette building. Some of the work I've done in the house on St. Aubin, the tapeworm going through the ghost, and the rising sun, the 4-window rising sun. Some of the angles are a bit off, but I've never worked that large. I'm into working with the larger multi-story pieces right about now.
How do you do that? How do you change your perspective from? First of all, do you make sketches first, or are you doing all freehand?
No, I do sketches. I like to do the little stickers. Usually do the stickers, practice, and sometimes if you go through the buildings, you can find the practice version on the wall right next to the window. Sometimes I do that as well. Sometimes it even looks better, which is kind of disappointing to me. I think I did my Marianne Mahaffey Memorial better on the wall than the window one, which everyone sees.
Where's the Marianne Mahaffey Memorial?
It's on the Lafayette building. Side facing the river.
And what kind of paint do you use?
I originally started just using all spray paint. I use more oil bars more and more for the outlines. They make nice, crisper outlines. Sometimes I use house paint, and that's about it.
Now, that must be a pretty large investment in paint by the time you get to the size of some of these pieces that you do.
Yeah. I'm sure I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on UI. I guess probably maybe over $4,000 just on paint.
Why?
I love doing it.
Why?
It feels good to do it, and it's so hard to sell art in this city. I do it because I can.
Why is it so hard to sell art here?
Everyone's broke. Most of the shows, it's just other artists, and they're all broke like me, and they better spend their money on things besides art. You know, just like me, they look at your stuff, and if it's better than theirs, they're jealous. If it's as good as theirs, they'll be like, I'll just do one of my own. If it's not as good as theirs, they'll be like, he sucks, and just, it's the way it is.
So, would you continue? I mean, as you move forward, is your hope to finally be able to sell actual paintings on a canvas?
I would like to. I would like to get some commission pieces for public art as well. Traffic Jam commissioned me to paint the street light outside the restaurant, like the giraffe. I would like to get some more work like that, do some walls, and actually not have to look over my shoulder and be able to take the time to make stuff look really nice. And I get tickets for malicious mischief.
What's the fine for malicious mischief?
I'm gonna find out. My sister said it was less than $100 property damage. Mine just said it was a 6x6 area, that I covered. Hopefully I plan to get a job because I want to go buff it out of my own accord and bring in pictures and be like, hey, I already got rid of it because, I have buffed stuff out before. I have no problem buffing. It's actually kind of fun sometimes.
You don't mind erasing? I mean, it must take you hours.
I don't like erasing something that's really good, but something that's crappy. Yeah, I don't have no problem going over stuff. I've learned not to even get mad when people paint over my stuff. After having all my artwork removed in the United Artists, it was kind of a good lesson that you don't really own your canvas. So some kids get really irate, they're ready to fight if you go for them, but I really don't care. I have a pretty complacent attitude about my artwork. I know that it's transitory.
But there was quite a bit of controversy when they removed all the things from the United Artists.
I did read that in the paper. It was somewhat controversial.
It was. How did you feel about that?
I was sad at first, but fatalistic. I would think it would have been better if they perhaps had just edited me, if they'd removed some of it. Like, damn kids, you could have used an editor rather than remove every last one. But ultimately, what could I do other than just write some jokes on the side of the wall and have the window scrapers hit me back with their own jokes?
They were sending jokes back to you?
Oh yeah, that was great. And I would too if I was not getting paid enough to remove the artwork and the artists were taunting me on the side of the building.
You went down and taunted them?
Well, I don't know if it was taunting them so much, but I did write "You missed one" with an arrow to one, and then they crossed it out and they wrote nine. But I really wish I could have got a job doing that. That would have been the best. Is actually got paid to remove the artwork and then just not tell my coworkers, that I'd done it and get to sit and listen to them speculate about what sick freaks had painted the building. It would have been good time just for the story.
Is the point of graffiti art to get it to be accepted? I mean, because we have, let's take a look at Tyree Garten and the Heidelberg Project, and he's fought with the city. The Heidelberg Project's 20 years old, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And he's been fighting with the city for pretty much almost 20 years. Is there ever a point when, you can't look at graffiti art and say, oh, these are just young kids, because it's generation after generation after generation. You can actually trace graffiti back to the Greek and Roman times.
Probably cave drawings, really, wasn't the first time?
Yeah, that would have been back in the caves.
Cave walls.
Though, the cave belonged to them.
Yeah. They had property deeds back then.
So, does graffiti art need to be illegal to be what it is?
I guess to make it technically graffiti, some of these kids probably wouldn't do it if it was legal. It'd be no fun anymore. I would like to get it more accepted. It seems like some of them are working against me, trying to get it less accepted. That they do it to piss people off. That's not what I'm about. But it seems that everyone has their own agenda, really.
So if you could actually get permission from all the property owners, you would gladly put up legal murals.
Oh yeah, I was speaking to the police about that yesterday. I was like, the building owner would be mad about this, and as far as I know, the building owner is absentee. They're down in Florida. Whoever owns the Lafayette, I know the city used to own it. I'm like, sure, I'll speak with them. I'll speak with city council. There's already artwork on two sides of those once gray boards. Why not have artwork on the third side?
Okay, so can you tell me where your next couple of next vacant buildings? Or are you afraid the police are going to be staking them out?
I'll tell you one project that I would like to do. I would like to redo a building. There's a building in Livernois. My friends and I painted some windows in, and the Detroit News said it was vandalism. And I don't look at my artwork that way. Vandalism is not what's in my heart when I paint. So I would like to go back and scrape the windows, and I want to redo them with Aztec designs, since the faces were all too familiar. The Detroit News said, we gave them some Mayan stuff and some weird cartoon stuff. Fine, give them something new. I want to go and redo something and see if it's vandalism again. If you take all the time to scrape it and put up artwork again, is it like they re-vandalized it? I would like to see what the reaction to that would be.
Okay, Kevin Joy, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.